Hello everyone, my name is Nikhil sir of Support Classes Haprevasti Hudgi Road, Sholapur. We have started second chapter in Geography of Class 9 NCERT, that is Physical Features of India. In that we have studied some part of this chapter in our previous videos. Please students, those who have not seen that video, please go through that video. I have given you link of that video in my description box. You can check my description box and please see that video. Now we will move towards the next part in this chapter, that is, do you know? Please student, while watching this video, put your textbook in front of you and be ready with your pen, pencil and notebook for taking notes while teaching this topic. Most volcanoes and earthquakes in the world are located at plate margin, but some do occur within the plates. You know very well that most volcanoes and earthquakes are natural calamities, and those natural calamities are located at plate margin, but some do occur within the plates. The oldest landmass, that is the peninsula part, was a part of the Gondwana land. The oldest landmass, that we also call it as the peninsula part, was a part of Gondwana land. I will show you one video. That video is regarding the Gondwana land. Please see the video.
Gondwana land. The oldest landmass, that is the peninsula part, was part of Gondwana land. The Gondwana land included India, Australia, South Africa, and South America as one single landmass. Can you believe it? The convectional current split the crust into a number of pieces, thus leading to the drifting of the Indo-Australian plate after being separated from the Gondwana land towards north. The northward drift resulted in the collision of the plate with a much larger Eurasian plate. Due to this collision, the sedimentary rocks which were accumulated in the geosyncline known as Tethys were folded to form the mountain system of Western Asia and Himalaya. Gondwana land. It is the southern part of the ancient supercontinent, Pangaea, with Angara land in the northern part.
I hope you understood it better. Now we will move towards the next part. The Gondwana land included India, Australia, South Africa, South America and Antarctica as one single land mass. Just we have seen that in the video, student. Australia, South Africa, India, South America and Antarctica as one single landmass was there. The convectional current split the crust into a number of pieces, and that single land is divided into number of pieces because of the convectional current split, thus leading to the drifting of the Indo-Australian plate after being separated from the Gondwana land, and leading to the drifting of that India-Australian plate being separated from Gondwana land towards north, and India, Australia went towards north side. The northward drift resulted in the collision of the plate with the much larger Eurasian plate. The northward drift resulted in the collision of the plate with the much larger Eurasian plate. Due to this collision, the sedimentary rocks which were accumulated in the geosyncline known as the Tethys were folded to form the mountain system of Western Asia and Himalaya. Because of this collision, the sedimentary rocks which were accumulated in the geosynthecine known as tethys were folded to form the mountain system of Western Asia and Himalaya. Here, the word Gondwana land has given some description. Just we will read that. It is the southern part of the ancient supercontinent Pangaea with the Angara land in the northern part. Just we have seen in that video. The Himalayan uplift out of the Tethys Sea and subsidence of the northern flank of the peninsula plateau resulted in the formation of a large basin. And because of Himalayan uplift out of the Tethys Sea and subsidence of the northern flank of the peninsula plateau resulted the formation of a large basin. In due to course of time, this depression gradually got filled with the deposition of sediments by the rivers flowing from the mountains in the north and the peninsula plateau in the south. And due to course of time, gradually got filled with the deposition of sediments by the rivers flowing from the mountain in the north side and also the peninsula plateau we have called peninsula part. It is the oldest landmass in the south. Mountain in the north and that peninsula plateau in the south. A flat land of extensive alluvial deposits led to the formation of the northern plains of India. And because of that flat land of extensive alluvial deposits led to the formation of northern plains of India. Means foot side of that mountain. The land of India displays great physical variation. Means in India we have seen great physical variations. Those variations on the earth, we can see some mountain, some side we can see plain regions, some side we can see the desert region, and these physical features, physical variations we will see in India. Geologically, the peninsula plateau constitutes one of the ancient landmasses on the Earth's surface, and peninsula plateau constitutes one of the ancient landmasses on the Earth's surface. It was supposed to be one of the most stable land blocks. The Himalayas and the northern plains are the most recent landforms. Because of most stable land blocks, the formation of Himalayas and the northern plains are the most recent landforms on the earth. From the viewpoint of geology, Himalayan mountains from an unstable zone, the whole mountain system of Himalaya represents a very youthful topography with high peaks, deep valleys and fast flowing rivers. And because of physical features of Himalaya, a very youthful topography with high peaks, deep valleys and fast flowing rivers we can see in that part. The northern plains are form of alluvial deposits. Next part we will see on next page. See friend, this is a map of India. We can see Himalayan region from Jammu and Kashmir to in this way, then Himachal Pradesh, then Uttaranchal, then in Uttar Pradesh in this way, then Nepal here from this country, then again from in this way the north part of Bihar, and will go in this way, then in Bhutan, then in this way we will go into the Sikkim, and then in Meghalaya, then Arunachal Pradesh. In this way we can see the Himalayan range, and below some part means from this side Punjab, Haryana, south part of Uttar Pradesh, south part of Bihar, then in some part of North Jharkhand, and Pachim Bengal we will see the plain land which include alluvial deposits. I hope you understood it better. The Peninsular Plateau is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks with gently rising hills and wide valleys. In Peninsular Plateau, composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks, and these rocks with gently rising hills and wide valleys. Now we will see 6 major geographic divisions of India. The physical features of India can be grouped under the following psychographic divisions. Figure number 2.4 here below, on next page figure number 2.4 is there, and in that we will first see physiographic division, that is the Himalayan mountains. Himalayan mountains, just we have seen, that is from Jammu and Kashmir to in this way to Arunachal Pradesh, including Nepal and Bhutan. Then the northern plains, we can see northern plain on the footpath of that mountain side. In this side I have told you Punjab, then here in Uttar Pradesh, then in Bihar, then in Pachim Bengal also we can see northern plains. Then the Peninsular Plateau. Now Peninsular Plateau we can see in the center of India, then in this side means east and south side we can see the plateau. Then the Indian desert we can see here in Rajasthan. Then the coastal plains, we can see the coastal plains from the south means here in Western Ghat, in Maharashtra and some part of Karnataka here, and here from Pachim Bengal to then Odisha, then Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. These are the coastal plains in the India. Then islands, we can see islands like Andaman, Nicobar, then Lakshadweep, then here Dadra Nagar Haveli. We can see some islands in the India. I will show you student one video regarding the physical divisions, means physical features of India, and this video is also available on the YouTube. If you want to see some information, more information, you can go through the YouTube and see the video.
India is marked by a diversity of physical features such as mountains, plateaus, coasts. And islands. Standing as sentinels in the north are the lofty snow-capped Himalayas. Him plus Alaya means the abode of snow. The Himalayan mountains are divided into three main parallel ranges. The northernmost is Great Himalaya or Himadri. The world's highest peaks are located in this range. Middle Himalaya or Himachal lies to the south of Himadri. Many popular hill stations are situated here. The Shivalik is the southernmost range. The North Indian plains lie to the south of the Himalayas. They are generally level and flat. These are formed by the alluvial deposits laid down by the rivers, the Indus, the Ganga, the Brahmaputra and their tributaries. These river plains provide fertile land for cultivation. That is the main reason for high concentration of population in these plains. In the western part of India lies the Great Indian Desert. It is a dry, hot and sandy stretch of land. It has very little vegetation. To the south of the northern plains lies the Peninsular Plateau. It is triangular in shape. The relief is highly uneven. This is a region with numerous hill ranges and valleys. Aravalli Hills, one of the oldest ranges of the world, border it on the northwest side. The Vindhyas and the Satpuras are the important ranges. The rivers Narmada and Tapi flow through these ranges. These are west-flowing rivers that drain into the Arabian Sea. The Western Ghats or Sahyadris border the plateau in the west, and the Eastern Ghats provide the eastern boundary. While the Western Ghats are almost continuous, the Eastern Ghats are broken and uneven. The plateau is rich in minerals like coal and iron ore. To the west of the Western Ghats and the east of Eastern Ghats lie the coastal plains. The western coastal plains are very narrow. The eastern coastal plains are much broader. There are a number of east-flowing rivers. The rivers Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri drain into the Bay of Bengal. These rivers have formed fertile deltas at their mouth. The Sundarban Delta is formed where the Ganga and Brahmaputra flow into the Bay of Bengal. Lakshadweep Islands are located in the Arabian Sea. These are coral islands located off the coast of Kerala. The Andaman and the Nicobar Islands lie to the southeast of the Indian mainland in the Bay of Bengal.
I hope you understood it better.